We flying right into the annual. Hey guys, this week we're going to talk about Top Gun Maverick and then also our end of the year review of everything that we've done for year one. Brian, hit that intro. Coming to you from 1920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, in the heart of Uptown Whittier, Keeping Up with the Nerds presents Annual Number 2, 2022. I am Boy Wonder.
Phantom.
And Crimson.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Woo! We're talking about Top Gun? That's right,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
I gotta
Look
get
at him.
the character.
He's got his.
I got my mustache.
He's
on.
got his goose stash.
I got my rooster stash.
Rooster
Now,
stash. Rooster
Officer,
now.
I swear to God, I didn't mean to run that red. Just let me off with a warning.
Just go
I
like this,
swear to
Brian.
God.
Just go like this. Just cross your arms like this and go.
You know what?
You have to do that for the
What was
thumbnail.
I think you could do a really pissed off cop pretty well.
Probably.
I think you can do an upset cop.
I could do
well.
it.
Maybe that was your
That's
lifelong
That was my
goal.
calling instead of doing
That was,
this.
yeah, that was your calling.
That makes
is
sense.
To be a bad cop.
What?
That's.
Um,
I can see you as a terrible
okay,
cop.
can we just move
let's
on?
get into it. So, guys, this week we were lucky enough to see an early screening of Top Gun Maverick.
Technically, not an early screening because its release date was May 24th.
No, it wasn't. It was 27th. Dude.
That's not what's on Wikipedia and everything else.
Because
when you look,
I think they're taking the early release date.
you think that
because
that's what it's like?
Technically because it's a early release to the public.
Okay, hold on. Google it.
Googling.
It's
What
not
is
like
the-
we have a computer.
Yeah, Google what was
Right.
the release? What is the release date of?
Because the marketing was the 20th.
Because the marketing says the 27th.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's
Yeah.
besides the point. We went to an early screening.
We went to an early screening.
It's not our fault. Brian's wrong.
And we're going to see it again.
Oh,
Right.
yep, June 5th, May 24th, 2022.
Ah.
Oh well.
So I was right.
No.
So we're
Like
going to
nuts.
see it again, though.
We are going to see it again.
Yeah, we're going to see it next Sunday.
Is that just a midnight screening? Why did it say there was an early screening though?
I think it is like considered an early screening, but like release date wise, it's like labeled as like 24th.
Sure,
I don't know,
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
it's all missing.
Fine.
Sure, we're
That's
all right.
fine
How
with
about
me.
this? Would it make you happier if we were all right?
No.
Okay, never mind. I tried. Before we move on to some topics
Yeah.
that we're going to be
let that
discussing
happen.
today, some quick announcements. KeepingUpWithNerds.com. It's been updated. All the information is going to be up there. Plus, some new videos have been coming out on YouTube as well. Star Wars Celebration was over the weekend, so we've got one video-ish, maybe two. I don't know. We're still planning some stuff out. We're kind of waiting on some news and bits and pieces coming out of Star
Why
Wars
don't you just say
Celebration.
we have a few?
We have a few.
Just,
a few
just
videos.
because this is Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We have a few videos. First one that came out was Friday. That one was on the first couple bits and pieces that came out news-wise on
Yeah.
Star Wars Celebration. That was a great video.
I really like that
Yeah.
video. That video was fun.
The
Yeah.
editing was
It was fun
perfect.
to make,
Yeah, it's great.
and it was also fun to edit.
It's so
Yeah.
I'm so
You had a lot of fun. You could tell, like,
you could
the
tell you had a lot
little
of
transitions and the sound bits you put in.
Yeah.
Mwah, chef's kisses.
but there was a lot of bits that we fed him. Like it was like perfect bits.
No,
so it was just like, oh yeah, these are funny.
We were doing we were on it that day.
yeah, it was one of those things of we only have 10 minutes until Obi-Wan Kenobi starts, so we need to hurry up.
I'll talk about like favorite moments that we've done recording wise, but there's a
Yeah.
couple of moments that we all meshed well, and I'm like really proud of them.
We've all done.
Minicast,
You gotta get this right.
Minicast number 11 finally released.
Yes.
Right.
Top Gun, but Our Real Addiction is now hosting it. So they are finally having their own little separate video on Keeping Up with the Nerds.
Hey.
So honestly, I know you guys haven't seen it yet because it will go up on Saturday, so it is already up. Not bad. Not bad. I will say Adam, though, is wrong on two things. One, he said there are 5 perfect sequels. Aliens, and I said, no, you're dead ass wrong. I don't think Aliens is a perfect sequel to
Because
Alien.
Ridley Scott didn't do it.
Well, because what did he say?
He doesn't
said,
like James Cameron.
no, I like James Cameron.
don't.
I just don't think that Aliens is a perfect sequel. I think you're wrong.
It's a good.
It's a good enough sequel.
It's a good enough sequel because it changed the like a genre.
You know what's funny? I watched Aliens first.
Really?
That's sad.
No,
I saw
you know
Aliens
what?
first.
I've seen Terminator 2 first.
Terminator
you
2
watched
is another one.
Terminator?
Yeah.
You said
That makes
Terminator
sense.
2?
So I guess that only works with James Cameron
I
films.
guess so.
Because that's Terminator 2 is a James Cameron film.
Yeah.
Was it Aliens? Is it also a James Cameron film?
What else are the ones
Shrek 2.
Also a James Cameron film.
you said?
He used the
Could
same.
you imagine?
He was the Phantom director in that.
Dude, that would be hilarious. Could you imagine Shrek with like their Navi like CGI? Just donkey.
Fiona.
I forget the third one, but he said, or I forget the fourth one, but he did say Maverick was
A good
the other
sequel.
one. A great sequel.
I think
because it
Maverick
encompasses.
No, dude.
Yeah,
it got
does
it
so
got
well.
a 97%.
Dude,
Very
97%.
amongst
Maverick
people.
is
Certified fresh.
Yeah,
That's not certified fresh.
They got
That's like
certified
that's not
fresh, though.
certified
I
fresh.
would've
That's
really
like
hated to open up
certified
this weekend.
gloriously fresh.
In all fairness, I was telling you, you both the day that we went to go see it on the 24th. I really hope that it just like annihilates Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's right.
That's the hope and dream.
I'm hoping.
I feel like-
because I feel like Jurassic Park. Like I feel like this was a passion project.
Yeah.
I feel like Jurassic Park coming out is a cash grab.
You know, it is.
Like hard. Like where it was just like, the last one didn't do all that well.
No,
Well, what does well with sequels? Why don't we get the people from the first one and we'll just bring them back?
yeah. Like people are spending money to go see like these like characters from past movies in the new sequels now and
Yeah.
stuff.
Like I really do like from everything I've seen in the new Jurassic Park, like Jurassic Park Kingdom or what is it called?
There was a Fallen Kingdom.
No, I know, but
Jurassic World Fallen King. So it was,
I know, but what's this one called? It's
oh,
like-
this one's Jurassic World Dominion.
that's dumb.
Yeah, I think of the board game.
It's just dumb.
Dominion.
Yeah, I know, but I think with Jurassic World, I do think that it's like that thing of it's a boardroom. I really do feel like they just checked boxes.
Yeah.
And Nick,
Where they went down the list and went, that's right. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's do that. All right. Let's put all these things in a script and let's call that a day.
for the new year, I'm gonna buy Nick a shock collar, so every time he tangents off when I'm trying to make announcements, I can shock him. But it increases every level every time you keep
You know, it's gonna be great.
interrupting me. What?
I'm gonna put one around your nuts. It'll be great. We'll be connected. It'll be another.
By Bluetooth?
Yeah, it'll be by Bluetooth. Are you gonna go like?
All right, great. Yeah, Minicast 11
Yes.
releases, so there's also that to look forward to. A couple of articles on keepingupwiththenerds.com. If you are not yet following us on our socials, go do so. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. With the new year just around the corner with issue 100, the big 100, new trailer, new intro, new everything.
I feel like that's confusing.
Why?
I feel like
When you say New Year,
when you say New Year, I feel like that's confusing.
New Year for us.
Because
Yes.
when you watch this and then you go like, was this in December?
No, obviously they have to read the date on the bottom, man. It only makes sense.
I know, but when
Just a
you're
little
talking,
scroll.
I know, but for anybody who's new, every single time we hit around this time of year, we do a couple of revamps, we change things up, and we do things a little bit differently. That's what Brian means by New Year.
It's a refresh.
We are evolving.
We're
As a
evolving.
channel.
It's a new.
As
It's
a
a thing
production
that we do
company.
every single year. Not the actual calendar date. So
Okay, thanks for that long explanation.
I know.
Again,
It's like-
shock
man.
collar.
How much time did we waste right now?
And what is Webster's
You did-
dictionary's definition of a new year? It's described as. You want to keep going, Nick?
No, he's willing to stop. No. Like, so, with that being said,
No other announcements, right? That's
no,
it.
that's it. Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
Can we make a bet on how much time I can waste?
No.
I can do it.
Oh God, dude. How about we can
How
do that
about
when-
how about if we ever have Sarah again? Starting now, she has to start counting how many times Nick has
Tangents, right?
Tangents, yeah.
Her note taking is still impeccable, dude.
Yeah,
I
dude.
honestly.
She's the only
cannot
one that
believe
can do it. Honestly.
Yeah, that's scary.
I mean, she's detail oriented.
Yeah, she
She's.
is.
Have you seen photos of the
terrifying.
murals?
Yes, beautiful.
She's been doing? Yeah,
Oh,
it's so great.
Of
The
what?
the
painting,
mural
the
she's been
mural?
doing.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's so great. Now she's working on the costume next.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
She was a guest in issue. I don't even know what issue it was. I forgot.
It was in November.
Yeah.
Issue 75.
Was it
If
70?
you are
It was in the
right-
70s. No, because November was in the 70s, actually.
If you are right, that is amazing.
Because I'm detail oriented.
All right, let's kick off our annual
In
number
all
2.
fairness, even if I'm 1 or 2 off, I'm gonna take that
That's
as a
still
win.
good.
I'm
No,
gonna take
because
it
it is in
you
the
don't get
70s.
it. I'm not giving that to you.
I'm gonna take it as a win.
I'm not. Well, that sucks.
I will take that
I
as a
will
win.
not allow you to have it. Can we go on to the
All right,
topic at hand?
Yes, let's
Now?
review.
Annual 2, baby.
We're all just Nick's waiting,
No.
legitimately
Yeah, it's like
waiting.
No, I really want to know. I really want to know.
issue 72. You're off.
You were off like 3 issues, but still
That's not
close
bad.
enough.
That's not bad.
Wow, congrats. You want a high five? You're not getting one anyways. Top Gun Maverick, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I
I'm
have a high
not
five?
doing that. I'm not
Want a
even
high
looking.
five?
I'm not acknowledging
We'll
you.
bump butts.
How'd you like Top Gun Maverick 2?
You know
or Top
what?
Gun Maverick.
So I will, I will say this. I am a casual, but also, I love Top Gun as it's a movie. It's fun. You guys are bigger fans for it, obviously, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I've been itching to watch it again.
Yeah,
Like,
same here.
There's moments when I'm driving and I'm just kind of like not listening to anything.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps because I'm thinking of all the flight stuff that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I kind of want to go see it just for the flight scenes again.
Yeah, those fight scenes were pretty sick.
They were really well done.
It was so funny though because when we were last night or the night that we were watching Kenobi, my parents went to go see it. You guys
Yeah,
were, you guys
yeah.
were over to what was it to watch Kenobi,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my buddies was there, and my mom walked in and she was like, "Yeah, it was really good." Especially,
Yeah.
especially when like this
They
happens and
crash,
then
yeah.
like when they crash and like it was so dramatic.
And then your
everything
buddy
else.
was sitting next to
And my buddy was sitting next to me going, "Did she just spoil the movie?"
Nah.
I was like, nah. And he's like, what is it with this family? It just-
Does that honestly happen?
that happens a lot.
So I will
that
say
really
this.
does. I'll do that a lot too with my buddies, which is also unfair because a lot of people go, "Have you seen this?" And I go, "Yeah." And then I talk about it, and they go, like, "I'm only 2 episodes in." I go, "Don't ask me about it then. Why would you make it sound like you finished it? That's not my fault."
I will say that Top Gun Maverick is a movie that needs to be watched after watching Top Gun.
Okay.
Like, you could enjoy it on its own, but it is definitely a bigger payoff if you watch the first one,
Yeah.
or at least know the story.
Or just like even like freshly watch the first one and two, or rewatching it
Yes.
because it's such a good way. Because I watched it the day before I rewatched Top Gun because I was like, you know what, I have to, because refresher
True.
course.
Yeah.
And when I watched it when I watched that for the first time in a while, I was watching Maverick. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
because
There's
like
there's a lot of really cool things.
especially spoilers, guys, obviously, especially when Rooster is playing the piano at the bar.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold up. Before we go on, spoilers.
You said it.
Yeah, he said that, but that's like one minor bit. Spoilers from here on out. Trust us when we say that the trailer only showcased about 60% of what is actually in the
Yeah,
film.
that's true.
And the ending is the biggest payoff in a sequel movie I've seen so far. It's so good because it's not an expected thing. You are kind of thinking that it's over, but it's
exactly.
not, and it just treats you with an extra little bit of stuff.
And it's not like the Lord of the Rings either, where you just like want it to end.
When is this gonna end? Jeez.
Check again, it's like another hour.
The first time I saw the last Lord of the Rings, I remember seeing people get up twice. I do remember seeing people get up twice where they were just like, all right, well, I guess that's the, oh, no. And then, oh, okay, cool.
No.
Dang it.
So then I remember seeing Fellowship really good. I'm like, damn, we're tangent now.
You're welcome.
I remember seeing Fellowship as a kid in the theater. And then when the movie ended with like Sam and Frodo going off on their own.
Yeah.
And it ends. And they're like, everyone in the theater's like, what? Because no one knows it's like a book or or where the book ends in Fellowship and stuff. And the guy was walking out was pissed. He was like, I can't believe they ended it like that. Oh, like I paid money to go see it. And my dad's just laughing.
Doesn't The Hobbit end the same way?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. What the heck?
And I guess he's never read a Tolkien book, And so
Yeah. So do we start off with Top Gun Maverick and kind of talking about the story? Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So when Tom Cruise dies, so just like going straight in, he just goes like, oh, you know what?
Because of Rooster too.
And it's all because of Rooster. Because Rooster,
he sold out. He sold them out. Yeah.
No.
So what's great about Top Gun, and I've just kind of thought about it this way.
Don't take me seriously. That's not what
I just thought about this.
Top
Gun Maverick has 3 acts plus a bonus act. Because the third act is the mission.
The third act is
and then the
mission.
bonus act is the escape.
Yes.
I actually take that as the epilogue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
More or
the
less.
epilogue of it.
Because technically, you could, in all fairness, they could have empired it.
Yeah.
Where they go
They
home.
basically did it like
They set
how
it
a
up.
Death Star, like how you just.
I mean, they really did.
Yeah.
I mean, they really did Death Star.
They
where
did
it's
a
just
Death
like,
Star.
It was a trench run. Somebody literally went and saw Star Wars and went, "What if we did that with actual F-16s?"
I feel like Tom did that. He watched like New Hope and he's like,
No, you know what?
yes.
I will say that the best way to explain this movie for anyone that's played it is an Ace Combat mission. Because Ace Combat, I think both 5 and 7 have you do a mission like that, where you're basically just kind of like flying at less than 150 feet. You have to maintain a certain speed, and you have to avoid the SAMs that are basically around the mountain. And once you get to that zone, it's a mission in Ace Combat 7.
I know, but
I gotta show you.
I know,
that.
but what I'm saying
But
is,
it basically is the Death Star. That's fine. That's fine.
That's a good question, audience. Can you explain what Ace
what
Combat
is
is?
Ace
It's a popular arcade fighter jet video game that came out like in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite ones, I've played 4. I love 5. Skip 6 because it's honestly like where it kind of went a little bit weird. 7's really good. But it's basically about 2 nations at war, and you play this kind of like great pilot who's basically like supposed to be doing a couple missions from here, like doing a bunch of stuff. 5 was one of the enemy nation essentially trying to defeat the other. Turns out there was like a rogue agent somewhere, and a satellite crashes down on Earth. So the final mission is you basically going into space in your jet, or as far as it can take you, and blowing up the satellite piece by piece. The last mission in Ace Combat 7, super great. Basically the same thing. You're just fighting drones, because that's kind of a thing that they mention in there in Top Gun Maverick, right?
Yeah.
Is that the pilot is a dying breed, essentially, right?
Yeah.
which also is interesting too, because I thought that was going to come back later, because that was like kind of like a dropped plot
Yeah,
line.
you think so?
like-
Yeah.
yeah,
But
where
it
they
kinda
kept on
makes
talking
sense.
about like drones. I thought it was going to be like stealth. That's where I originally thought they were going.
Yeah, they're gonna
with
take
it.
on like a drone kind of.
Yeah,
like,
I thought that the other that whoever miscellaneous army and country had drones.
That would've
as,
been
their
cool.
fighter
That would have been a
pilots.
thing, because like it's kind of a topic of conversation, and like you still want to keep pilots, because Ace Combat 7 does the exact same thing. The whole idea of it is, pilots are better than drones because they can act on instinct and do things that a computer probably can't process within a certain moment, right?
It's also they just randomly do stuff.
Exactly. And they kind of showed it at the beginning of Top Gun Maverick. It literally, the first 10 minutes of it are not important to the story at all. It's
no,
just kind of like
it's showing
leading
us
into
where
it.
Maverick's at.
No, because he's just trying to break Mach's, or at least reach Mach 9, and then told, hey, you got to reach Mach 10 based off this experimental plane that you guys are
not only
researching.
that, but also they're because it does come back later, because they showed that in order to get to that point and to come out of it, you have to be going at least Mach 9.
Oh, to get out of the mountain.
To get out of the mountain,
Yeah.
you have to face 9 Gs, not Mach 9.
Okay, so at least 9 Gs, but
Yes.
still.
So they weren't talking about, because there's a difference, is that
I know, but
they
it does-
were only testing the research. So the only reason I say that it's not necessary at the beginning is because it's just showing that he's basically not. He's still the same Maverick that we
Just to
knew and
let
left
you
him behind
guys
Top
know.
Gun.
So here's what happens in the beginning. So
Okay,
the beginning
don't
of
give
the,
us a 10-minute explanation.
the
30
beginning,
seconds.
The beginning of the movie is he's a test pilot and he's trying out a new stealth fighter.
Yes.
And he's trying to break Mach 10. That's the beginning of the movie.
With
And
an
they're being-
experimental jet
with
that
an
the
experimental
Chinese
jet.
actually thought was real.
They actually thought the jet was real.
That's what. Yeah,
That's
he was telling
awesome.
me on the way home
Yeah,
after
that's
watching
really
it.
cool.
I was like, that's crazy.
But also, they're being shut down for AI drones, for AI planes, and the only way that they can't get shut down is if they're able to reach Mach 10. Tom Cruise is able to do it. He gets fired for doing it because he goes against the orders of a general.
He
or
doesn't
an
just
admiral.
break Mach 10. He goes to 10.3.
Yeah, he breaks Mach 10.
Freaking plane is like heating up like a freaking
no,
toaster
it was,
oven.
it was heating up like a toaster oven.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is that instead of him getting fired or court-martialed, he gets sent to Top Gun.
I love the scene where he's walking into town wherever he landed at.
Yeah.
He's just all covered.
Where is this?
Yeah.
Earth. Somehow this guy survives.
Yeah. He's Tom Cruise.
Mach 10 and still manages to parachute in
Not
there.
only that, but also it blew up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
like,
man is a superhero.
That's the thing. It's like you see him like pull the ejection, but you see like the explosion as he's like simultaneously.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, the reason is
if they would have been like he died, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense.
Now, the reason why Top Gun is still relevant to this is because he hasn't moved up in rank. He's still a captain.
Wow.
He's been kind of like not honorably discharged, but he's been disobeying orders and constantly gets himself into trouble to the point that they have to relocate him and gives him missions.
Yeah.
He does them successfully, but he doesn't follow the orders. So he's like, you know what? We have this big mission and we need you to fly out to Top Gun and you guys are going to train these new pilots. But
Thought of an inappropriate joke. It's fine.
okay. But
I'll tell you
these
after.
Top Gun pilots are not new recruits. They're graduates.
Yes.
They're
which
all
is
Top Gun.
Great. Yeah, all Top
They're
Gun
all
graduates from
yes.
different years,
The best of the best.
which is great because the trailer doesn't give that.
Is it
I
wrong? I really wanted the Men in Black scene. I'm like, why are we here? It's because you wanted the best of the best of the best, sir. I don't know why I really wanted that the whole movie. I'm just like, so why are you here?
So it's great because was I the only one not to think that it was that they were all recruits,
No.
No.
or did you guys all think they were recruits?
I thought
thought in
they
the-
were somewhat experienced.
Well, they all
But
have
not,
to be experienced.
yeah, they have to be experienced. So I mean, I didn't think they were already going to be the best pilots of the country.
Which is a great little
Yeah.
thing that they left out because now these guys we're not seeing them like start anew.
Yeah.
They're
not trainees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They know what Top Gun is.
The other thing is that that's the only way to put this timetable on. Like how exactly I can't train fresh recruits to go into this into Beggar's Canyon and shoot a womp rat and that's it. Like I have to get the best of the best in order to do this. People who can already fly, they already know their limits, they already know how to do certain things, they already know how to be a wingman. All that's out of the way.
Yeah.
Now I just need to teach them dogfighting and I need to teach them how to fly
Which
crazy.
I like the little detail where it's like, they're not used to dogfighting.
Dogfighting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
they're
not a
just
thing.
used to just
Because
coming in.
they're not.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that in this aspect of Top Gun, a lot of these pilots graduate, but they don't have kills. They have never taken down enemy aircraft except one in that
2.
group.
Hangman.
He said Hangman had 2.
Hangman has 2 confirmed kills. Because even Maverick in Top Gun, did he have any confirmed kills at all?
Yeah, because he
has 2.
took down a couple of
At the end.
at the end of Top Gun.
No, he has 3.
Yeah.
Because in this one he takes down 2. No, he takes down 3. Does he take down 2?
One.
In the first Top Gun.
Hold up, he takes down that one, then
Takes
takes
out
down
2 or
the
3?
other one.
Because he takes out the 2 MiGs. And then there's a third one at the very end. Yeah, he takes out 3. So he killed 2 people inside of Top Gun 1.
No, he doesn't take down the last one. Not the one that
At the
he was
end?
trying to force the ejection.
Because she says
Yeah.
she says that Maverick has 5,
Which makes
so
him
where's
an
the
ace.
5? She said he has 5, so that makes him an ace.
Regardless of it, he has 5
Doesn't
confirmed
matter.
kills, yeah.
He kills a lot of people.
Tom Cruise is just straight up murdering people. Like,
He's murking the hell out of people.
he's just flying around in his jet going, "I'm Maverick."
So the movie makes it apparent like the movie makes it obviously clear which recruits are going to be the main ones, the main characters.
Yeah.
They bring in this because they bring in the 6 or I think it's the 6 already, right?
Yes.
Hangman, Bob, Phoenix, Payback.
No, there's 12. There's
I
12.
know, but
Well, there's
main
12,
6,
but like there's only
There's a main,
6
there's
that
a
we
main,
follow.
Yeah, there's a main 6.
there's and Rooster, that's the other one I forgot.
Yeah.
Big
and
guy.
what was the other one? What's the-
Fanboy.
Fanboy and Coyote. What was the girl's name?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Basically all that, but then
There's a lot of
they bring
code
other
names.
they bring
There's a lot
other
of code
people,
names.
other graduates from Top Gun, and they kind of just go off with their code names, and that's it. They really don't make a scene or an appearance from there on out. Just maybe like a couple little cameos here and there, right?
We're just made aware that they're there.
Exactly.
There's other people here.
What's great about it from here on out is that Tom Cruise's teaching style is more of like he still has not let go of Goose's death.
Yeah, he's really holding on to that in the movie where he's just kind of like he's training them, but he wants to make sure they come home.
Understand.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is that scene where they're doing little test bits here and there and they keep messing up. It's like, why did you fly over 150 feet? Oh, well, think of an excuse that you can tell his family because he died. And it's that intensity of like the loss and real life aspect of like, you mess up this mission, that's it.
That was a really hard, like, especially since it was so abrupt. Of just like, give me an excuse on why you broke away from your wingman or why you weren't there. And then as soon as she starts kind of giving an excuse of like, this is what happened, he goes, give me an excuse that is acceptable to his family at his funeral.
It's a great little bit because I feel like this movie really focuses on the characteristics and personalities of every character. Because obviously you have the parallels of Rooster and Hangman, which we saw in Top Gun between Iceman and Maverick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They're basically the new ones for this one. What's also great about it is that Tom has
Which is
the
also
incentive
reversed.
to grow. Yeah,
It's also reversed.
What?
no.
Yes, because Iceman did the same thing. Remember, he wouldn't pull the trigger. That's why they called him Iceman. He would only pull the trigger when it was perfect. That's why he was so slow on the trigger.
That's right.
And Maverick was very much, I run and gun. I'm gonna do crazy maneuvers. I'm gonna do all these other things to get the job done. That's how Hangman flies. Hangman will leave because he even says, leaving your wingman. I haven't seen that in a while. So immediately it was supposed to be a reflection of Hangman is Maverick. He flies the same way as Maverick does. He does everything else, and that's why he's not right for the mission.
Two main points before we go into the mission, basically a third act of this movie.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, Iceman, makes an appearance, and he's the reason why Maverick goes back to Top Gun because he understood Rooster was coming back to the academy.
And in all fairness, they use Val Kilmer very beautifully.
Yeah, of what they had to do with him, with his condition and everything.
I love
the idea. Really smart.
I love the idea of just using him as text. I love the idea of like him typing on a screen and everything else.
When he spoke out is when it made the biggest impact.
Yeah, and I do like the idea that they actually just said what was going on. Like they were just like he's sick. Like he's sick and he can't speak.
Yeah.
And then immediately in the movie you were like, okay, cool. Like that's fine.
That's all you really needed to do.
That's all you needed to do, and you were like, okay, that's fine. I'm in. And like whatever happens now, I'm fine with. That's okay.
The other point was the love interest for Tom Cruise. We didn't bring back. I forget her name.
I forgot her name too.
Top Gun. The first love
blonde
interest.
chick, yeah.
A woman.
The woman.
With more respect, please. Jesus. They didn't bring her back for this one, but they did introduce a love interest that was mentioned.
That was mentioned in the first one.
one.
But that also does make sense though, because she was military intelligence.
Yeah.
So that would kind of make sense because she was specifically...
Eventually, she would move on.
She would eventually move on.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also she was specifically studying the F-16.
That's true. Yeah.
She was studying planes. So that would kind of make sense of...
It would never last.
But we get Penny,
but
who was
also,
mentioned.
but also for this mission that they're specifically doing, it doesn't. She has kind of no purpose to be here.
So Penny gets introduced, and she is a former love interest with the child now, essentially, who owns the bar that he used to frequent when he was at Top Gun. Right? We get more of a story behind what happened because he supposedly was supposed to teach at Top Gun, but Maverick basically says I only was there for 2 months before I left, and then I was moved around, all this other stuff.
No, he was fired.
He was fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
He pissed off another admiral.
Basically.
And then he left.
It probably was a flyby, you know.
Another
My point
flyby.
being. But we get more of that character development from him.
Yeah.
I actually was a little disappointed that he didn't say it to Goose. Because that was the only thing I was kind of like, oh, come on, say it. Where at the very end when he's flying with Goose and he's able to, and he does the flyby at the tower. I thought he was gonna tell him like, "Are you ready for your first flyby?" and then just like he does it.
You're talking about the end, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're not even there yet, Nick. You're just so excited,
dude.
Relax.
Dun, 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 dun.
Then we get to the main mission, which is phenomenal. The intensity behind it just felt so. The end mission.
Oh, right.
It was just so
the stakes
great.
felt so high.
In all fairness, I really enjoyed the training though. I love that training.
The training was fun.
The training was really cool, and also I love back to Tom Cruise's training style. I love the idea of I will show you. I'm going to teach you by doing. I'm going to show you that it can be done, because that way when I give you, I tell you that these are your requisites. This is how to do it, or this is what I'm demanding of it. You can't say it's impossible. I can do it. So that means you can do it.
Can I finish the summary before we move on to the topics at hand in the conversation?
Whatever.
I'm almost there.
No.
Just
Me too.
Renee's like me last night.
I think it's like when you sit here, you're just like, you got to be on it.
You do. Yeah, you do. You definitely do.
The camera's
when the camera's
on you.
Yeah.
The camera's just on you.
So they do the end mission, and the entire time you kind of get this anticipation that one of the pilots isn't supposed to come back because
it makes you feel like
it
that.
does.
Yeah.
Maverick breaks the rules, which makes him the captain again.
Yeah.
The best way to explain it is basically he's too good of a pilot to just let go. So Cyclone, played by John Hamm, essentially says, "You're in the mission." End mission happens. The plane that gets shot down in the trailer ends up being Maverick's, right? They basically tell him, you guys have to go back, leave them behind. There's nothing we can do. You guys cannot fight those prototype, basically new generation jets with your F-18s.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
So they basically leave. But there's this whole aspect between Rooster playing in his mentality. I have to go back because what did Maverick teach me? Don't think, do, right? So then we get a sequence where Maverick wakes up in the winter or in a little place. He survives again. Helicopter chases him. Rooster saves him. Then we get the epilogue that Nick mentioned, right?
Rooster gets shot down as well, and now they're stuck.
And then Tom Cruise does his classic running.
No, then we get Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
It just turns into a Mission Impossible.
I do love the idea. I did really enjoy that scene where he was like, "What were you thinking? You should be on the ship right now. What were you thinking?" And he goes, "You told me not to think."
The entire theater laughed.
And then immediately you see Tom Cruise just going like, "Oh, damn it."
They go back to the air base that they blew up at the beginning. They steal an F-14, which was one of the first jets that they flied in the original Top Gun, I think.
Yeah,
right?
No, that's the jet they're flying.
That's the jet they fly.
that they flew,
That's
right?
That's the jet they're flying. That's like the new technology.
As they're making their way out, they get pursued by the two enemy ships that were chasing them, right?
Right.
And cool little aerobatics happen.
Yeah.
Should I say what was super cool about it?
Yes, go for it.
Tom Cruise does this thing, right, Maverick, where he turns down left, shoots the pilot to his
He tricks
left.
the pilot first.
Yes.
He makes them think that they're allies.
Basically.
And then when he's like, which is also really funny too, I love the idea of him giving the hand signs.
Yeah,
And like he's like doing different hand signs. He goes like this, and then he's like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And he goes, "Never seen that one before." He's like, "What about that one? What's he saying now?" "Never seen that one either." All right, well we're pretty screwed. We got.
It's such a great sequence because it goes to show that there's no limit to Maverick's intelligence.
Yeah.
He shoots down the first jet to his left, tells Rooster, when you see smoke, tell me.
Yeah.
Sees the smoke from the missile.
Smoke.
And then gets in the way of the burning jet he shot down and
use it
uses
as
them
cover.
as flares,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
is phenomenal.
Yeah, that was
Then
pretty
there's
good.
this entire sequence where he's basically trying to outrun that jet, somehow makes it out. How does he shoots him down, right? With the gun?
He shoots him down with his gun. Yeah.
Because he's out of missiles.
Yeah.
They make it scot-free until Rooster turns on the radar because they were working without radar the whole time. There's another jet flying straight ahead of him.
Yeah.
That's a death sentence right there.
Yeah.
Basically, there's no coming back.
He used up all his flares. He used up most of his flares.
Yeah.
All of them.
And he has like
No, he had like
30
left.
rounds, or did
He had
he
like
use
2
up all his
left.
rounds?
He had 2 left with 30 rounds.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was trying to make it. And he was trying to make it work. No, actually, I think he was out. I think he was out.
He was
yeah.
out.
Because
There was
that's
nothing
why.
he could
Yeah,
do.
he's that's why he's saying when I say pull, you pull the ejector seat because they're like we're done. Like I literally have nothing to like save us with. Which also I do kind of think that he might have thought about crashing like into the plane.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I thought he was gonna think
straight
about
ahead,
crashing into him and then having Rooster eject. But the minute that things happen in that plane, that's it's insane.
So they only get saved because Hangman
Yes.
basically blows up that.
also apologizes to Goose, which is sad. Like it's such a sad moment.
Well, because he promised to take care of his kid.
Yeah, and he's just like,
it.
I'm sorry, Goose, I failed you. Which also is really cool too, because I liked when Rooster's doing the mission.
Oh yes,
he's
he's like, come on, Dad.
He's like, because what was it? Because Maverick says it right before, where he's like, Goose, talk to me. And then immediately he goes, Dad,
He says
talk
it
to me.
more than once in the film.
He says it a couple of times.
Yeah, he
where
says it a
Goose,
couple
talk
of
to me.
times.
Yeah, Maverick does, and the mission is the first time we see Goose or Rooster say it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's that connection to Goose
Yeah.
still. Movie ends the same way that Top Gun ends.
Exactly.
Basically the exact same thing.
Shot by shot. you have Hangman and Rooster just like going like this and like like
I was hoping that when Hangman and Rooster are talking to each other, they would say the exact same lines of like, you could be my wingman.
anytime.
No, you could be my wingman. I was hoping that line was said, but
I
no.
think yeah.
No, I think even they were like, that's too crazy.
That's too much.
Maybe that's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like our little analysis of this movie. It's too great to explain with words. Like it's definitely a movie you need to see.
It's a different movie you have to see in the theater and just experience it and stuff.
Not only that, but also I feel like with all the interviews and like all the stuff that came out about the movie of like, oh yeah, he had them go through like a 6-month course, or Tom
He
Cruise
actually
had them
put him in jets.
put him in
fighter
jets,
yeah.
and then like they had to like fly and recorded their own things. I feel
they all
like
took flying courses. You
they
know
all
that
took
too,
flying
right? Yeah.
courses. They what was it? Tom Cruise took like 2 years to actually learn how to fly an F-16.
What? No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I
Really?
swear to God, he did.
Oh, and that plane that's that plane that's that he's always working on. That in the
That's his
hangar?
plane, isn't it?
That's his plane.
Yeah, that's his actual plane.
Well, you would. I was like, you would have your own plane.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, like, look, we all can all agree because we talked about it on the way home. Tom Cruise has a big ego, but
Oh yeah.
but he makes great movies.
But yeah, I get it. You can hate the
Yeah.
you can hate the cruise, but like,
Yeah.
what about the movies? You know?
Because you're gonna be sad when he goes on cruise control.
God damn it.
You're so dumb. I swear. I was like, it took me a second to realize what you
Really?
said.
I was
Well,
like,
because
come
I was reading this and I'm just like, I'm finding it. I'm just like, you suck. Why are you the worst?
Oh come on, that was great. That's a good one.
All right,
That's a
Renee,
good one.
tell us. Let's start with you.
Okay.
What aspects of Maverick did you like the most?
You know what? I personally liked. I just loved the dialogue between both Rooster and Maverick whenever they talked.
Right.
It started out as like that resentment, but you could tell that when they kept continually interacting with one another, it's growing. Especially, I think what solidified that the relationship was changing was when they did the beach scene, and they're all throwing the football around, and Maverick's on the ground.
It's a great scene.
Yeah,
It's a great scene.
Mhm.
I actually think that's better than the volleyball scene.
It's more fun.
Yeah.
You see the team really coming together.
Because
In
it's
that.
made
So-
much more clear why they're doing it. In the first Top Gun, it was just
That was just
American.
for fun. Yeah,
it was
like,
American. It was like,
We're
what
gonna
can
play
we?
volleyball.
We're gonna have
It's-
shirtless men who
Yeah.
are freaking hot, and sweaty,
Yeah.
playing
And
volleyball.
there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
No.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing.
We're gonna have
There's nothing wrong with
moist Cruz, moist Kilmer. like
Yeah, man. Come on.
That's,
that's what
wrong
I
with
was
you?
saying. I was saying that
Both
to,
moist.
I was saying that to Brian on the way to the
Get some
theater.
more baby oil.
I was like, are we gonna get all the actors still like sweating? Because when you see the first Top Gun, they're glistening.
Dude, those guys are moist.
Yeah, they're like in the fighter jets, and they're just like they're sweating, and they're like.
Okay, hold on. In the fighter jets, I understand.
Yeah.
Because it's hot in that thing.
Yeah.
Like they're wearing like thick jackets. They're wearing everything. Did you find it?
keep going.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, but like even like when they're right before, because they're in the ocean, like was it the big old ship? What is it called? I can't say it. When they're about
What?
to take off for the first at their first mission at the
Are
end
you
of the
talking
movie.
about the oh my
The
god.
experimental
Right?
ship.
Huh?
It's the experimental ship, right?
No.
No.
You're talking about the Navy ship. Right?
Navy ship. Yeah. I
don't-
don't know what it's right. You're
I'm
like
blanking.
I
on
know
what it
because
is
you were
right
like,
now.
yeah, you mean.
I honestly, yeah, that's gonna be a TikTok. That's definitely gonna be a clip that we're gonna give to
Yeah.
Mandy of like, yeah, you know the. Oh no.
I don't know. But when they're
Right, just
waiting for
brain fart.
to get to their jets, you know, they're even like they're even sweaty. Like someone just sprayed bottle Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And he's all beady, wet.
Well,
you know?
no, because okay, so back to what I was saying about the whole like the trainings and the everything else. I do feel like you can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them inside the cockpits
Yeah.
and freaking out, or like an actual plane flying above them or doing whatever.
Because you can tell that when in the first Top
They're
Gun
there.
movie, it's still good. Don't get me wrong, it's a great movie.
You can tell they're in a blue screen.
They're in a blue screen, or like they're grounded somewhere. They're like they're just and the camera's just like, okay, all right, yeah, we got it, Tom. Okay, you know, like
Yeah, and there's just a screen behind them or whatever, and like that's it.
No,
this one you feel yes they are in the cockpit.
So it's funny because you know the outcome of every like training regimen or every like we all know, right? Were these pilots gonna die? No. Like
actually no, I didn't know that they weren't gonna die.
So okay.
I wouldn't have been surprised if what was it if somebody would have died in that mission.
that's the thing. We were expecting like, you know, one of the lower tier.
Better. Let me rephrase that. When Tom Cruise set mission parameters to 215 and he did the mission, we knew that he was going to do it. I love that the entire theater clapped at the end of that.
Wait,
like
where was
it was
Fanboy?
so good.
Where was Fanboy?
He was behind Rooster. I mean, Rooster. He was in the next
Rooster
jet behind Rooster with Coyote.
The
No,
four
'cause he
that
was
the
with
four that
Phoenix.
did the mission.
No, Phoenix. No, Phoenix had Bob.
Yeah.
So Phoenix had Bob.
Fanboy and
Coyote and Fanboy were in one.
Then who was in Roosters?
No
nobody.
one. He's a solo.
He was
pilot.
6 jets. Yeah.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, so he was okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, because in my head I was like, wait. do
No,
you mean
not
somebody
yeah,
was
yeah.
playing?
Not each plane had a co-pilot
yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Besides the point that I was wrong.
Just skim over that. Just skim over the fact that I was wrong for once.
Jesus Christ, man.
No, but I really do feel like all of those experiences really intensified that movie. It made it
did.
More, it made it more interesting. It made it
real.
It
It
made
did.
It honestly, it really did make
Well,
it feel like you were in those cockpits.
You see the actors. You can tell it's still the actors, even with like the helmets and like the mask on it, right?
It's not a stunt double.
Yeah, and then when you see them flying really fast, obviously they're not going like whatever G's they're doing, but you see their face getting sunken in. You know, you could tell they're going fast, and that's really like Miles Teller and Tom Cruise.
They don't let up on the fact that the maneuvers they're doing are some of the hardest maneuvers
Yes,
possible.
yes. Yeah.
They're like you're gonna be when you're flying in the canyon, right? Going 100 or over 150 feet at a certain speed, you're gonna be facing 5 Gs. It's intense maneuvering because you're moving back and forth and back and forth,
And so
super
narrow.
quickly and
But
narrow.
well,
Yeah.
Then escaping the mountain, 9 Gs, and that brings that kind of intensity to it, right?
And also the thing that really scared me was when they were training, and Tom Cruise is Tom is there, and they're going through the training regimen, and then Coyote passes out.
Oh, that's right.
That was a really cool scene.
I thought that was a death.
Yeah.
No. Was it? No, not the passing out.
No,
Okay,
yeah, he
it's
blacks
not
out.
fair.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not fair
Yeah.
because when he blacks out, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, we're gonna lose him."
Yeah.
and he saved him. Like, okay, cool, that's fine. But then they hit a flock of birds, and
Phoenix,
and
yeah.
was it Bob?
Phoenix and Bob. Yeah, they
crash.
hit a flock of birds. Yeah.
And they crashed.
Yep.
But they made it out.
They made it out, yeah.
Thankfully, dude, I was sweating. I was like, no.
I do love the what was it the bait and switch of like, oh, Coyote's gonna die right now.
Yeah.
And then you have like Bob and Phoenix, and then they get hit and they end up going down.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, but I really do like that scene though. It's a great scene of like Tom trying to do everything.
Yeah.
He's even saying to himself, "To not like this, like not again, not like this."
Yeah.
And because it's a fluke. It's something that it's impossible to have accounted for birds. And not only that, but also it was a great teaching moment for them too, of just going like anything can happen up there. Like,
Well, Rooster took it the hardest because that was after that Rooster and Maverick are the ones that are talking to one another and basically saying like, then we find out the real reason as to why Rooster doesn't want to talk to Maverick.
Yeah.
Which is that basically Maverick wanted to protect him and he pulled his papers
Yeah.
from the Navy.
But then we find out that wasn't
That's
really his idea.
It was his mom's.
It was
That
the
was
mom
mom's.
wanted him not to join the Navy.
It's a good connection
yeah.
because we still get her in the picture because she wasn't in the picture the entire movie. We find out she dies, and it was Maverick's promise to her to basically keep him safe, which meant not encouraging to fly. But he pushed through it. So
which also means that he's that good.
Was it
definitely.
Iceman that
that's
questions
also
it?
that's also a really interesting moment too.
What?
Was it Iceman that questioned it, or was it Penny who said, you know, what was it that he's like? Was it your idea, or was it his mom's idea?
Oh, it was Penny. Penny
Yeah,
questioned.
that was
Penny questions, and he's like, "Oh, well, it was hers, but I
don't
want to break it to him."
Yeah.
that way.
Well, she says, wouldn't it be why don't you tell him that it wasn't you, it was his mom? And she goes, because I don't know what he would do if he would hate his mom.
Yeah.
For this, I would much rather he hate me for it. And he throws his aggression out.
Why would he want to lose two parents and despise one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
I would rather him love both of them and be mad at me, because and I can live with that. That's
so,
fine.
Out of everything, Nick, what were your favorite parts of this movie?
Honestly, I really like those training scenes. The training scenes, I think, and I feel like that's just a thing for me. I love training scenes. Like, I love good training scenes. I especially love their very first moment of the first 9 minutes that they show you in right before Doctor Strange is awesome. Like I thought, because I'd already seen it, I was like, okay, that's not gonna be as cool, because we already saw it. It was still just as fun. The whole welcome aviators, today's your first flying lesson, and he's just going around them, and he's zipping around, and he's
they really underestimated.
What does he do to one of them? Basically, he kills Hangman by hiding underneath him or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was below them. He was directly
Oh,
below them the whole
that's
time.
right.
So what he kept on doing is he kept flying under radar. So he was flying too low to the ground where radar wasn't picking up. So none of them could see him, and they couldn't pick him up. But it was also a lesson too of, you also have to use your eyes. Don't just use your instruments.
Yeah.
Use your eyes, because they were like, well, where is he? Oh, well, he must be ahead of us.
Co-pilot.
Yeah, he must be ahead of us. He might be behind us. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's nowhere to be seen. I don't know. And he's just like, I've been here the whole time.
That
was so cool.
That's the main theme of Top Gun in the first one, because Iceman. Basically, it was Iceman and Maverick fighting one another to basically not being the wingman.
Yeah.
I'm the main guy. And we kind of get that in Hangman as well, in a certain parallel, right? But it's interesting because that concept still exists there. It's like your wingman is the important one. Don't abandon them. Keep close to them. And Hangman is the one that doesn't do it. Phoenix is pushing for it. Bob is basically seeing the importance of it. And Rooster is too timid to do anything about it. He thinks too much, right? And so they all suffer, and it kind of amplifies that idea of the importance of a wingman.
Yeah.
It's so great. And even still, the fact that these stunts are all practical, I would say maybe 95% of them are practical, right? Like with the jets and stuff. It's so cool to realistically see these jets flip upside down, do an inverted dive, stall, and turn the other way. Oh my freaking god, dude!
I love the one I really liked was when Rooster and Hangman are up, and Maverick and Rooster and Hangman are both they're bickering pretty much. They're not really paying attention to the exercise. And Maverick is just letting them talk. That's it. He's been flying underneath them upside down the whole time.
Oh yeah.
That's so.
And he's been flying upside down, and then he goes, well, "Why don't you just bring it up with him?" And then he goes, "Well, I've been here the whole time." And then he
I forgot
and he
about
flips
that
over
scene.
right on top of Rooster.
Yeah,
And so
right
they
on
just-
top of Rooster.
Yeah.
That way,
And the
that way
Rooster's
he's
like,
this.
all right, old man. Pew! He's like,
And they just straight
and then they corkscrew straight down.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
What do you
corkscrewing down.
What's your move, Rooster?
You got us into this.
Yeah.
What's your plan to get out? And then he eventually pulls out of it right before he hits the ground. I think 500 feet below.
Oh god.
I think it's 3.
No, was that 500?
Is that 500?
No, it was below 500 because 500
Oh,
is the
that's
ceiling.
right.
And he goes, you went past. So it was 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, because
He's
they
just
were
about
chewing
to-
out Maverick. Yeah, John Hamm was chewing out Maverick at that point. Yeah.
And then
You know not to pass a certain limit.
Yeah.
Is if you want to pass a certain limit, you have to propose it to me.
Yes.
It's a proposal to go underneath the limit, sir.
I love the comments afterwards where he's like, Maverick, maybe you should learn to read the room. And it's so great, but I have to admit, that's why I mean those training scenes are so. They're so cool, and not only, but it's also showing you that Maverick is trying to teach them not just to succeed in this mission, but to succeed as a pilot. Because the most important thing is to him is not finishing the mission. The most important thing about the mission is to come home.
Yeah,
that you are going to come home from this, because that's even a conversation he has with Cyclone of. You just need to train, because Cyclone even tells him, you need to train them to complete this mission. Yeah. And the only thing you've shown them is how it can't be done. And he even goes, well, you mean to complete the mission and come home? He's like, casualties are normal in war.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, and that's I mean, it's a reality. It honestly is a reality in the Navy. I get that. But the idea of I don't want to send these kids out to die. I'm not sending them on a suicide mission. I'm training them so that way when they go into this, they can get in, get out, and it's almost as if they weren't even there.
But that concept of trying to go back home after completing an impossible mission only further enhances that story. Because put it this way, if these kids, right, were just to go on the mission without the proper training, without that, Maverick mentality,
they would get shot down.
They would get shot down, but the fight sequences would not be as interesting as they would be now. Because then they wouldn't be maneuvering the way they are. They wouldn't be helping him out. Because what's so great about it is that Rooster is the one that gets targeted several times by the SAMs. Right? Yes. And he uses his flares twice. So in your head, you're just like, he's out of flares. There's nothing he can do. So when he gets targeted again and the missile starts chasing him, he basically tries to press that button. Nothing comes out. Maverick comes up from behind and uses his flares to save him out of that situation.
His flares and his plane.
And basically, that's how he does it. But that's that intensity that happens. It's like, we're going to take every single one of these pilots is going to come home, no matter the cost. And if they were to go into that mission saying, well, I might die anyways, would they have tried as hard?
I'm not saying I was right, but I did say at one point Maverick and Rooster are going to have to be on a plane together.
It was inevitable.
You did call that. No, yeah, you did call that.
It was an inevitable sequence.
Yeah. When it happened, I was like...
The thing is, though, is that could have been written terribly but
nice.
It was really good how they did it.
And that's that epilogue that comes in because, the way I thought when they were setting up the mission was when they were choosing the two pilots that were going to be basically the first ones, right?
I thought he was going to be behind him.
I thought that he said, because he said Phoenix Bob, Coyote Payback, right? Those were the two pilots that were going to be flying together, right?
That was the redundancy.
And then he's like, okay, so who's going to be your wingman? Rooster.
Yeah.
And I thought, so he's going to be behind him. No, I completely forgot.
Yeah, then the wingman.
is next to him flying his own jet. Still great. It's still great because they're still flying together, right? But having him in the same jet in the F-14s, that is what makes that last sequence great. And it just goes to show because
it was one jet for the scanner, one jet with the missile.
Yes.
So one was giving targeting, one was shooting the missile. So that's okay. So that's how that worked out.
Yeah.
So they were the ones to break the
barrier.
The barrier. It was Maverick and Rooster.
They were breaking. What?
No, Maverick and
Rooster.
Maverick and Coyote.
It was Maverick and no, it wasn't. It was Maverick and Phoenix.
Maverick and Phoenix.
Maverick and Phoenix,
and then it was Coyote and Rooster.
Rooster, yeah. Rooster had the missile. Yeah.
Yes. Was Rooster? No, Rooster didn't blind shoot.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Was it him?
Yeah, he blind shot. When Coyote and Fanboy were shooting.
Right.
When the laser was going out of
the
whack.
laser's going everywhere, and he's like, "I'm gonna have to blind shoot it."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, wait, we'll do it." No.
And then he pops it and it falls right in. And you're like,
so, what's great about the last sequence between the F-14s and the experimental jets is that you know that no pilot can survive that. They were gonna be outgunned and outflied. There's just no way.
Not only that, but also at the very end, it just turns into a shit show.
Yeah,
basically of just having 54-30.
Wow. Okay.
Dang. That was basically his moment of like putting down like it's a request to fly below 500 feet. That was your Maverick moment.
No, what was it? It's no, but it does because you just see Sam's shooting everywhere. You're seeing missiles. They're all saying missile. They're all flying everywhere. They're going back and forth. Some of them are trying to get missiles to hit each other. It just becomes a mess. It does not. And not only that, but also you can kind of see that their training is very much what kept them alive. Like that is primarily the only reason why they all made it out.
The training is what made them believe.
Yes. No. I
believe.
Maverick is what made them believe, because also I love that scene of because he's trying to raise how far they're going, and and they even say the SAMs will see us, and they were like, if we go fast enough, that doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if they set off radars, you guys can outmaneuver those planes. And they're like, no, that's impossible. And then Maverick just goes, man, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna show them that it's that this is possible, that I can do this.
Not at 2:30, 2:15.
Yeah, and then he does it at 2:15.
He did it under that, didn't he?
Yeah,
with
he had
4 seconds to spare.
He had 15 seconds to spare.
Okay.
No, 4 seconds to spare.
So he had 19 seconds.
It's not like we're gonna see the movie again. You know?
I know. Okay, so for what they were saying, he had 19 seconds technically, because 2:30 was their limit.
Yes.
They're saying that it's 2:30 in order for them to respond. The response time. I thought that was cool. That's why I was saying the training scenes was dope, dude. Which I get, the training scene is basically the entire movie, but it was an awesome scene.
So
that's what I love.
Brian, what is your favorite part?
It's a tough one. Out of everything is super great.
It was the football scene, right?
The football scene.
The football scene was great.
He was like, naked men. That's what I came here for. Naked men.
Why not? Look,
Miles
man.
Teller was shredded.
So
in
Miles
that interview,
Teller is tall.
So Andy got me the People's Magazine Top Gun.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Is he naked?
Put a picture right here.
no.
Is he shirtless?
No. So they did an interview with him,
Disappointed.
and he said that the production team was making fun of him because he had to avoid carbs for that week of filming that they were doing the beach scene. Because if he ate carbs, he would bloat up.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to gain the weight.
Right.
So
he loves carbs.
He loves carbs apparently. So he avoided it because he didn't want the production team to make fun of him for that scene in particular, which was interesting. The guy looked ripped,
He didn't
though.
want like a little pooch. He's like,
The interesting thing about it though was that he does look like is Brad Shaw the actor who played Goose?
He looks just like
he looked like his kid.
Just like him.
No, he didn't.
Like that. Like Miles Teller is a perfect.
I will say
casting.
you guys took the action scene, so I'm gonna say this. I think my favorite part of Top Gun Maverick was Iceman's reveal.
Yes.
Because if you are a fan of Top Gun and Val Kilmer, it goes to show the amount of dedication and the amount of love that these actors have towards this IP, essentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, not even just Top Gun. I mean, they brought up Val Kilmer for Willow, as well, over at Star Wars Celebration this week, where with this past weekend, where they were like, we were talking to Val Kilmer, and we really he couldn't be in this season. We really want him to be in the next season. Like, we know how much Val Kilmer means to everything. And Val Kilmer needed to be in this movie. Like, and I understand, like, he has a lot of physical, things that are prohibiting him from doing everything like his old self. But I love the way that they used him, the way that they were able to use him for an emotional moment, not necessarily an action moment.
It wasn't just the way that he performed that scene, it's the way that was written, because they could have just said, when he shows up in person, we're going to have him talk. But that wasn't the case. He was typing on the screen and having Maverick answer his own questions.
Yeah. Yes.
He had to build himself up. And then when it came to the point where Maverick just couldn't get past a certain hump, that's when he spoke.
Yes.
And those words just meant more. It just showed the amount of growth and the amount of friendship the amount of love essentially that Iceman and Maverick both had in that 30-year period, right? What was great about that scene as well was that Iceman then asks him one last question: who's the better pilot? And they just left it blank.
I love
Tom
that
Cruise's
moment. I
response.
love Tom Cruise's response of like, it's a nice moment, let's not ruin it.
He eventually passes away in the movie, which is a good send off.
That was pretty interesting. They chose to do that in the same film. at least.
I feel like, but I also do feel like, okay, because you gotta rate yourself in a box.
Yeah.
How if Iceman is in charge of Top Gun, and he accepts the way that that Tom Cruise is teaching the class, how do I make things hard for him to teach that class? Because all he needs to do is just make a call to Iceman. So having him pass away, makes it so that way now whoever is in charge of that program now can change things up.
There is no safety net.
Yeah, now there's no safety net. Now he has to change things up. So now Maverick has to fly himself. He has to fly without a wingman.
Because Penny kept mentioning, or she mentioned in one of the conversations that the reason as to why he kept going back was because Iceman kept pulling him out of trouble.
Yes.
And it's a great little sequence because now that a safety net's gone, there's really nothing there. I also will say, speaking about Penny, no weird sex scene. It was just like a moment, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, because in the first one,
it's not a sex scene.
It's not, but it's like a very sensual scene in the first one, but it's like super long.
It's very 80s.
Yeah.
It's very 80s.
You know, there's a blue light hitting them, and it's like you see their
boom,
silhouettes.
boom, boom,
yeah.
boom.
Silhouette. It's like
The music is really bad as well, too.
They played the same music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
But
like
they
it's
did
like
it better, though.
But it's always like a silhouette of like her laying down in like panties and like just like caresses like all of her curves and then like he's like slowly touching.
It lingers on for a bit.
And then they kiss and then they're just like, it's like, are we watching porn?
Yeah.
Like, what are we watching?
But this is better because she leaves the the entire theater was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like
we had a good crowd.
Yeah, we did have a really good crowd.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, that
she
crowd,
leaves
like,
the door open and is like, don't give me that look. And that's the whole play until she walks into the house at that one moment, leaves the door open, he reads it and is like, it's about to go down.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I do love the scene after that where
He escapes.
the daughter comes home and he has to jump out the window. And I did think that was really interesting where the daughter is so self-aware of like her mother's situation.
Yes.
Where it's like, just don't hurt her again because he's done that before.
Of course,
And I thought that was a really cool scene too. Damn, man, there's a lot of really good scenes in this
No,
movie.
this is
solid
there's a
movie.
reason why it got a 97%. Like this is a
man,
good
like,
film.
It's
Like
a great film.
But I would to mention the crowd again. You could tell I don't know if you guys really looked at the crowd. It was like a mixture of like our age, but then also
20s
like
to 40s.
40s to 50 people. Like I sat next to like I think he was like 60. Like there was like an old dude and stuff.
What was his reaction? Because I was sitting next to you.
So he was like
he
this.
doing?
He was laughing. He was enjoying it.
Having a good time?
But I saw there was someone in front of Brian and and then I think it was like a scene when Maverick was showing how they could get done, how they can do the mission. He was like this. He's all. He's all like this.
It's a good crowd, dude.
Yeah,
That's a good
man.
I
crowd.
told Andy this. I'm trying to get her to
crowd.
watch this movie before we finish this podcast, before it goes up. But she's like, she's interested.
first one?
No, the second.
Oh,
this
okay.
one. But
So we're
she's
going
like,
tomorrow,
she's not
right?
putting in effort to go watch it. She's like, oh, I'll wait until June 5th. And I'm like, why?
Wait, is
Like,
it? I was gonna say, isn't she? Oh yeah, she's gonna see it.
She's coming with
yeah.
us on June 5th.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
remember?
but like,
You guys got mad at me because I bought tickets for you.
Wait,
and
hold
then
on.
both of you were just like, we said we were gonna go with these. And no, that's not how. That's not the conversation. I'm like,
that's not my default.
I was like, them your women's. I'm not gonna pay for your their tickets.
point being,
We take me for.
Yeah,
Point
I
being
pay
is
for
this.
your dates.
let's go ahead and wrap up this topic by asking you guys one question, okay?
Sure.
So in the mini cast, Adam and Miguel bring up a good point,
Yes,
right? Because they said they did this bit where they said the original Top Gun used a budget of 15 million and made 357 box office.
Yes.
Right? In its run. This Top Gun is 157 million budget. And they asked the question, how much do you think it would make?
157.
157 million for the whole budget.
I think it's gonna make 400.
400 million in its box run, and we crashed. Guys, we'll be back.
And we're back, everybody. Sorry, technical difficulties and stuff.
That's not how numbers work.
I know. I didn't want to question it because we need to get this done. That's
I understand that we need to get this done, but like that camera caught it of him going 5, 3, 2, 1, and I was like, and I literally
I saw it like 5 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like 5, 4. I was like 5,
3, 2, 1.
That's why I was like, that's not how numbers work.
My bad. No, we spent literally like 15 minutes trying to figure out an issue, and
That was like the dumbest issue in the world.
whatever.
We'll
It
talk
happens.
about it.
But can we
I
go
don't
back
like- I
to
don't
the
like
main
Sam's
topic
video.
at hand? Before we wrap up
Yes.
Top Gun Maverick's conversation and talks, let's go ahead and talk about how much money do we think that
Oh,
this movie will
yes.
make in its box office
never
run?
figured
I said somewhere in between 400 to 360. That's what that's what I think right now.
I think is this opening weekend or is this gross?
I think it's gonna double it. I think it's gonna at least double its budget.
I will go a little lower, but I mean, it's still going to be breaking its budget. I will say 350.
Okay.
Yeah.
In opening weekend,
Opening weekend 350, but I think it's going to make a lot of money overall.
I think it's gonna double its budget. I think
Well, because once word to mouth goes out, that's the
word to
thing.
mouth goes out. I that's why I'm saying I personally do think what the hell. All right. Anyway,
I'm looking at this. What the hell? What?
nothing. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, Brian's panicking. That's why I look at it.
It's okay, Daddy. Don't worry.
Did you turn off airplane mode?
No.
We're resetting. All right, we'll be right
No,
back.
no, no. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
No,
fine.
it's not fine.
It's fine. Don't
No,
worry.
it's not.
Yes,
No,
it
no, no,
didn't
no.
do anything.
Resetting, hard reset. We'll be right back.
Don't.
And we're back.
We're not starting it all over. You just
start
have to
the-
learn. We're not starting it over. Yeah, I'm keeping that part in there, Nick.
Click. I'm just trying to make your life easier, but that's fine with me.
No, it's funny though for the podcast. That's
true.
the thing.
Anyway,
It's funny for the audience, but for
For
the
Ryan,
editor,
it's a pain.
It's
I'm just trying to.
I will say this, okay? So I was looking at the top 10 box office,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know, man, because it's saying lifetime
that's
gross.
opening. That's opening.
This is
weekend, right?
lifetime gross, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
lifetime.
Lifetime
I
gross.
can see it at least making like $1 billion.
I will say it's
Let's
going to
make
make
$1
over.
billion.
You know what? I'm gonna say overall it's going to make 800 million.
800 million.
800 million. For me. That's a safe bet. I feel
If
like
you're saying 800 million,
overall.
it is placed amongst the top 100.
What's Jumanji?
Jumanji,
Mm-hmm.
800,059,000.
That's
That was the new
Right.
one.
That's the
next
Welcome
level.
to the John.
That was the next level.
Oh, next level. Dang.
I
That was
will.
the
I'm
next
looking
level.
at these movies and I'm like, man. But I also have to think
Is it
about the
going to do
demographic.
Shrek numbers? No, but it'll do Jumanji the next level.
I feel like it's going to either be
That's
there or
a
just
sweet
be
spot.
right underneath,
Because
yeah.
that's the
That's a
thing.
sweet
It
spot.
is a generational movie. It's
Yes.
not a
That's what I'm
movie
saying.
that's like gonna be open to like a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what I'm saying. Like for Jumanji the next level,
Yeah.
I really do feel that's kind of like where its sweet spot is. I feel like they have the same audience. I really do kind of feel like they might have the same audience.
in its initial growth, I do think it'll probably hit somewhere between like 400,000, like in its first run, lifetime. Probably.
Yeah, I think 400,000 to 300. I think if it beats 400, then
400 million. Excuse me.
I think if it beats
400 million. 400 million.
I think if it beats 400 million, then I think it'll probably do like maybe top 20.
Yeah, but you also have to
That's
keep
if.
in the mindset that if the movie spent 152 million on its budget and it makes 400 million, that technically is a failure.
I don't know, dude. I know when I had asked people that went to go see it, and they were saying that those theaters were full.
Oh yeah, no, they're full.
Like
they're
the theaters are full. So
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
the first
bold bet?
weekend, yeah.
I would honestly say maybe up to 700 to 600 to 700 million.
I guess the question lies then when we go see it the second time in LA, right?
Yeah.
40x.
Yeah. We'll see like if there's still a crowds to go see that movie because nothing comes out next week, right?
yeah, there's
What comes out next
Jurassic
week?
Park.
And Bob's Burgers is this
Jurassic
weekend.
Park and Bob's Burgers.
Well, so obviously then
In all
Bob's Burgers
fairness,
will be
I
the
think-
younger generation between
I don't think they're the
we
same
might be the
demographic.
cap
They're not.
and then younger as
So
well.
Bob's
think this
Burgers
is
not a
demographic at all.
competition for Top Gun. The only
No.
real top competition is
Jurassic
Jurassic Park, but it's that consistency. Like, does Jurassic Park keep consistent numbers the whole way through?
I've talked to people about Jurassic Park and they said they're not going to go see it. Like they're not confident in that movie at all.
Yeah,
Especially because
but
the
it's
last
also
film-
Jurassic
The last film was weird. It's not even that it was. Yeah, it was weird. You can't.
It
have
was.
you can't have a movie where it's just like, oh yeah, we're just making clones
It's
of
the
people
Jurassic name.
No,
and
but
that's the problem.
That's
is-
the thing too. But it's like
But
the movie, the way the last movie ended. I mean, you could
Hold
tell
on.
that. In,
Look up.
yeah.
What did Kingdoms do? What did Fallen Kingdom? I know it's not in the top 100. It's nowhere near Jurassic Park numbers.
It's just.
No, I don't even
yeah.
think it did Jurassic World numbers.
But the thing is that like it seemed like what they tried to do is that they're trying to do what they tried to did with Lost World, where
1.31 billion.
how much did just Jurassic World make?
1,669,000,000.
so it made more.
Okay,
yeah.
so Jurassic World still made money.
Well, yeah, because that was actually a pretty good movie.
So yeah, that's the thing. And domestically, it made
Never mind,
652
it
million.
did do Jurassic World numbers. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So that's the thing is that it's the Jurassic name. It's gonna make money no matter what. You have your people that go like, I'm never gonna go see it.
Yeah.
It's the same crowd that basically says I'm not gonna watch the Batman because I don't trust Robert Pattinson. It's the same crowd. It's minimal. It doesn't really matter.
No, because I feel like that happens in every single new Batman movie.
What I will
I feel
say,
like a
yes,
standalone Batman.
but again,
movie,
it's
I
a
feel like that
small
happens every single
crowd,
time.
Nick. That's what I'm saying.
But-
It's a small crowd of people.
Because they said that about Bale. They also said that about Ledger. They said that about Pattinson, Ben Affleck. They said the same thing.
But this one doesn't have new characters. They're bringing back older characters, the
Which-
three originals, in this one,
That-
which is that's
honestly,
supposed to be.
that might be your hook. That might be the hook.
It is. It has to be because they knew that the last one critically didn't do well with
You think it'll beat 1.7? You think this new one? Will
It's either gonna make I know it's gonna make $1 billion. I feel like it's gonna make $1 billion. It's
feel
gonna
like-
be underneath though. That's the thing. It's gonna be like
I will say, because if we're looking at Jurassic World right here, it says that it broke box office records by becoming the first film to collect over 500 million in a single weekend. This movie will not break 500 million in its first weekend, but it will be. You think it will?
I
Top
think-
Gun Maverick?
Oh yeah, I think it's fun enough. It's more fun than Jurassic World was.
yeah, that's true.
It's also Labor Day weekend that it came out.
That's what I'm
Do
saying.
you count its days in its preview as well, or no? Or is that
No.
cheating? So
No,
like that
that's-
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday
No,
run.
because most people go to the movies on weekends.
Yeah.
so do you
no,
count
yeah.
that Tuesday run then in
No.
its opening weekend?
Essentially, most companies or the studios don't.
They'll-
solely just go off of weekend numbers.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
I want to say that opening weekend it won't break the 500 mil, but it will break 350
For Top Gun.
for Top Gun.
I think
Jurassic,
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
over 350, no more than 425.
Honestly,
I hope I'm wrong.
I really do hope it makes upwards of 500 this weekend because just purely on the fact that it's that good of a movie, and
So
not
great.
only that, but
That
also
is-
Rotten
yeah.
Tomato. Look at the Rotten Tomato scores.
It's at
for-
97%.
Yeah.
For no for Jurassic World. What
Oh,
was it?
87%. Oh, 59.71.
Really?
Yeah, 59 Metacritic.
For
71.
Jurassic
World, the
first
Jurassic
one?
World,
What
71%.
about Kingdom?
Wow.
Fallen Kingdom. 6.1 IMDb, 47 Rotten Tomatoes. Holy crap,
Yeah.
47?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oof.
Cause
Yeah,
because
that
That's a
movie
big
was-
old oof.
Yeah.
those
That movie
movies,
was
those
lame.
movies were oofs. But what I'm saying is that critically it wasn't. It was panned. Audiences liked it. I feel that audiences like this one, critics like this one. So that's where it's going to get its bump because people hit Rotten Tomatoes up all the time. That's their go-to.
You know who the audience is that's going to be watching this movie over the weekend? It's a bunch of, 8 to 13-year-old kids that are
Yeah.
being dragged by their dads.
That
Going
no,
like,
but then
honestly,
also-
that's
all right,
100.
Jimmy, we're watching Top Gun Maverick. Dad, I don't want to go watch Top Gun Maverick. I want to watch Bosburg. It's too damn bad.
no.
It drags his
No,
ass
but
into
then
the theater.
also you have kids that love dinosaurs and are not aware of a bad
I don't
movie
know,
as well
dinosaurs
too.
but-
or jets.
No, but honestly, I know a lot of kids that like both. I really do know a lot of kids that like both. Not only that, but also I know a lot of families that's their thing to do is go watch movies.
See,
so I wouldn't be surprised if Saturday we took the family to go watch this movie, and then Monday we went to go watch Jurassic World.
Whose
wouldn't be surprised.
weekend is it to choose a movie? It's Dad's. All right, we already
Yeah.
know. Family of 6 going to go watch Top Gun Maverick.
They should have put these movies out on Father's Day. Like that would have been you would have made your money right
I ain't
there.
a daddy yet, but let's go.
I ain't a daddy, but just call me daddy.
Is that what you tell your dates? Is that what you tell them? Are you emotionally hurt No, I'm gone.
I mean, I'm emotionally hurt in general,
Not
you know?
not
You know,
interested.
yeah,
but not
you know.
in daddy issues. at
So,
least.
Top Gun Maverick, our recommendation here is to go watch it. Yes,
yeah, go
definitely.
see it instead of Jurassic World. Yeah,
Dominion.
Dominion.
Jurassic
Dominion.
Wait, is it Jurassic World Dominion?
Yes.
Or is it Jurassic?
It's
Jurassic
the Jurassic
Dominion?
World name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't
Fun
they
movie.
just call it Jurassic World?
I don't know, Nick.
Jurassic World 3.
Like,
You notice that a lot of movies are not using the number system?
because it's kind of faded out.
Yeah.
That's kind of faded out. I don't think that you would,
Doesn't
because
matter.
because I think that it comes in as like a sequel and immediately it has like a negative connotation to it. Maybe.
I'm going to laugh if Matt Reeves goes The Batman Part 2. I feel like he might do that.
I think Matt Reeves. Is
Matt
just
Reeves calls the sequel a Batman.
dude. I think Matt.
No, The Batman. Because
V with the little apostrophe.
Dude, I think Matt Reeves is just gonna call it "My Dick Start Sucking."
You've waited for the Batman. Now watch a Batman, and it's the third in the trilogy and Batman.
and Batman. Batman's End.
That's not even grammatically correct. I don't care.
Dude, that would have been hilarious if instead of the Batman, if it would have been "Who is Batman?" So with the second would have been
Who Batman?
What
What Batman?
Who Batman? Who Batman?
How Batman? See, we're better writers.
Why
than
is
SNL.
Batman?
If SNL pays attention to us, they would have hired us as writers. We would have easily done it.
How is Batman?
How is Batman?
It just cuts to like him just like
Robert
sitting in.
Pattinson just like.
No, I just love the idea of him just sitting in a chair, just reading a book.
He's sipping on
He's
coffee.
finding himself out.
Black coffee.
How are you, Mr. Wayne? I'm alright.
Oh, man. We gotta stop because we can't give people ideas. I swear, watch. The next season of SNL, someone's gonna do this because they listen to us. Can we sue them for that?
No, because we're
That's
not.
That's actually a real thing. If
Yeah.
you said it on a podcast, it's open.
That is freaking dumb, dude. I know someone's gonna steal this. We gotta make it first.
It's fine. That means it's a skit. It has to be.
Yeah, we'll do, and then we'll skip them right back.
But if it is a skit, actually, you can. If somebody does copy that, then yes, you can do that.
Let's get on it, boys.
'cause
That's
you
it.
already-
Let's get. All right,
you
shut
already
up. Let's
made
get
it
on
a
it.
ticket.
I don't want to hear this anymore. All right.
No one here has a Batman body.
We don't need it.
Yeah, I do.
We don't need it. It doesn't matter. Fine. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Fine. I will go on a strict diet. I won't eat anything for the next 2 weeks. I'll just.
I want you
lose the
like
60 pounds.
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller. All right.
I
No
wanna
eating
see
nothing.
That
Dude,
That cup
glistening.
physique.
Dude, I want no carbs,
No carbs. No meat.
no
Straight vegetable.
no protein, just starving
steamed
yourself.
vegetables.
Steamed vegetables all around.
Yeah.
Just steamed vegetables,
Water.
and-
Everything. I'm down.
And
Just
you
to
can
get
have
that
like
skit
one
idea
cheat
out
day
there.
a month.
Yeah, the only
No, not even a cheat day in like 2 months. None.
Dude,
if
just-
if we need to get it done now, it needs to be hard. All right.
yeah, dude, it's just
Yeah, you will.
all you have is steamed vegetables and baby oil. That's all.
That's your diet.
Ladies
Gotta
and
get it
gentlemen.
in the grooves.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our topics and conversations. We're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to in terms of season 2. Apparently, Nick is interested in baby oil for year 2.
Who isn't?
Yeah, that's his birthday
Who is
present.
it?
It's Christmas
Dude.
present next one.
You know what? Issue 100 kicks off with all of us just drenched in baby oil.
Can we do that?
You should do a video of that, of just like a normal video of like, oh yeah, kick it up. It just cuts to us just rubbing oil on each other. Like, this cut.
Can you do my back?
No, it's been a lot of fun this last, this last year. I can't say it anymore because Nick's just going to mess it up and go like, oh.
He thought of a funny joke. That's why he's laughing.
What's the joke?
I don't know.
No, because I was thinking about last night when I was cuddling with you. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
and my
Forcible cuddling.
When we were forcibly cuddling, and then I kept on going, stop. Why are you being so homophobic? Just
Well,
let me
because you
hug
kept, I wasn't, but you kept grabbing like that pressure point in my knee that hurt. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't like that.
Actually, that wasn't me. That was Andrew.
But I don't care. who it was.
Wait, how did you not know my hand? That wasn't my hand.
Yeah.
How many hands do you think I have?
Oh my God. Can we move on to the
Yeah,
topic,
let's
please?
move on to the topic.
Jesus, Nick. I don't know what your obsession is with touch. Swear to
Yeah.
God, I will punch you in the face right here live.
Live on.
I'm just gonna hold my finger here. I don't have to touch him and it still irritates him.
Creator clash.
That's the dream. That's the dream. I was telling Andy.
Do you guys
I
see
watched
that
it.
vein that's growing in
So I
Andrew's
was.
head?
I was watching it
Yeah.
with Andy, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said, like, how cool would it be to be a part of Creator Clash? Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd be down to. I'd go.
I'd
do
do
it.
it. I would do it.
Would
I'd
you
do
fight it?
too.
Would you fight?
Oh yeah, I would fight.
Punch you in the face.
Not us.
Triple threat match.
We all have to be
iDubbbz watches this. And it's just like,
that
how
would
fun
be-
would it be if it's like a 3-way boxing?
That would
Nobody
be
wants to keep it serious.
That would be hilarious if you were tied together like the tribunal.
What?
Just
Oh my god. So we're wrapping up year 1
Yeah.
with issue 99.
Right.
This is our annual, pretty
Right.
much. And as tradition with our annuals, we get a little bit serious and talk about the things that we've done before, the things that we want to do,
Sure.
what we've really liked, what we didn't. And Nick just like straight up goes like, I didn't like anything, and just walks away.
I'm not a
That's not
nihilist.
true.
I'm not a nihilist.
There's like one thing.
So-
Dude, I complimented you today.
and so
Yeah,
like,
once, and then it was like a backhanded compliment.
No, I complimented
He
you.
actually did a good job this time. I'm like, well, all right.
it was,
I,
it's a-
I,
It
is
was a
that
little
what I
back-
said?
yeah, it was
Is
a
that what I said?
backhand. He's like, he
kinda-
actually did good
you
for
did say
us.
that, yeah.
Oh.
You're like, you did a good job.
Oh no, I did say that and then gagged.
Oh yeah, that's
I
what
did do
you
that.
did.
Yeah, I did do that. I did say he actually did a good job. Felt weird coming
Yeah,
out of
so
my
you
mouth.
actually did a good job. Was basically like, hey.
Here's a band-aid for you. No, it's been fun. Saying it like we're done with it. No, we've got a lot of plans for year 2.
This is our final year, guys.
This is it. This is where we wrap it up. No, it's honestly been really great. I feel like in terms of like what we've tried to do, what we wanted to do, we pretty much reached that goal.
We definitely expanded as of creative stuff for videos. and
Creative
stuff like-
minds.
Mhm.
What's interesting is
We definitely want. By year 1, we wanted to hit 100. That was the thing that we talked about right when I jumped on. Of we have to break 100 by the end of.
we're getting listeners, which is
the
good,
end.
and we're getting
Yeah.
viewership, which is good. We're getting acknowledged. But what I will say is that I feel like in terms of us, right, we've gotten used to our dynamic. And that's the interesting thing. Because I think a lot of people have mentioned to us, at least, right, that it's difficult to start something up like this
Yeah.
because you don't know what kind of personality or character you want to have as you're doing this, right? And when we first started out, we were awkward. You said you listened to the first issue that we ever did.
Yes,
That was awkward.
it was like a month ago. Yeah, it was really awkward of just us talking. And
Actually,
stuff.
you know what's really funny? My buddy, actually one of the Beza Bros, Eric, he does card openings with Lewis. He said he started. He was listening to us like the other day, so he's been listening to the newer issues as they've been coming out. But he has night shift because he's a security guard. That's his like day. That's his night job.
Yeah.
So because he does night shifts for a security guard company, so he has long periods of just like he has nothing to do.
Yeah.
So what he started doing is he started listening to our newer podcasts, and then he went. But then I went to issue 1 and I
Yeah.
started listening, and he goes, "It's really interesting to kind of see the growth." Because
Yeah.
I think last time I talked to him, he was on issue 20.
Oh, wow.
He was at he was at like issue like 15 or 20, because he was talking to me and he goes, "I didn't know that you weren't on." He didn't know I wasn't on in the first issue.
Yeah.
So he was like, "When do you show up?" And I'm like, 50. Like in the
Yeah,
50s?
it was-
You were before 50.
I mean, the first
It was like-
the first appearance was the Justice League
Issue
Which is
50.
which is issue 53. I think it's like 53, 52.
I'm looking it up right now. Issue 50 is the start of year 1. So
That's right.
So it's in the 40s. So it's definitely in like the 30s to 40s. So I even told him too. I go, yeah, it's like I didn't show up for a while. Like it was a thing. And he goes, yeah, it's really interesting to kind of see, because he listens to the newer issues.
yeah.
you were on for the Mortal Kombat bit.
No, I wasn't.
For the Mortal Kombat one? The movie?
Yeah, because we watched that movie together, and then we
But
reviewed it.
but what I'm saying is the first time I was on,
You were on here because your socials are on here. So 45. So you were before 45.
I showed up for Mortal Kombat. Was that before? Or
No, you were also here for 40.
No, but look, Zack Snyder. I was here the first.
That
day
was
on
that was
site.
his
Justice
first.
League
I
Immortal.
know, but that was when you started integrating.
No,
That's
the
why.
Justice League the Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder is literally my first issue.
Yeah,
That's my first issue.
that was his first issue, and then I think what happened was that we were. After that issue, you talked to us basically of how we can expand, and then when
That
me and
was-
Brian on the way home, we were like, maybe we should bring Nick on.
And then that was when I started showing up for more issues. Yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point.
And then I remember, sorry, really quick. I remember the first time we used cameras was the Suicide Squad review.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something you brought up. I think we were all really nervous
You guys were really nervous.
about being on camera.
Yeah, because I'm so used to kind of just like doing whatever I want, like no one has to see. Not like I do anything bad, but just kind of like I can kind of like shrug or kind of go like this and stuff. But now it's like,
What?
Can you do it
We
with
have
hands?
one dislike on issue. What is it?
which one?
Because all of our podcasts are 100% with like 2 or 3 likes, right? Issue 94 has one dislike.
What is that?
That's Mandalorian.
It's Halo versus Moon Knight. Just went for the night.
Really?
It was probably a Halo fan.
It's probably a Halo fan.
It's probably what's it? One of the guys from is the podcast that you were on
Echo or
No, After Death.
After Death. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was him.
Calling you out.
No, he's been listening to everything too.
No, but that's that. But
So,
what
yeah,
I'm-
go ahead.
But what I was saying is it was an interesting like conversation of us like talking about it because he was like, yeah, in the very beginning, I can kind of hear them talking about like, you know, they were very much trying to find, you guys were trying to find your voice really. And then he goes, but as I've been kind of listening, I'm noticing that like it's coming together more. And he goes, it's so weird because I listen to the podcast, I'm listening to them issue by issue as I'm at work. But when the newer issues come up, I listen to it. So he's like, I'm listening to
It's like he's going in the past.
he's listening to the past, and then on Wednesdays he listens to the newest issue. So he said he started listening somewhere around like in the like 60s or 70s. So he's like, yeah, I got like at least 60 issues I got to catch up on. So it's so interesting to kind of hear him like talking about it and kind of going like, yeah, like there's a lot of like things that I'm noticing like as I'm going of like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they're starting to change. They're starting to edit things. They're starting to do everything else. So it is an interesting thing, especially with only having really only 100 issues.
That's another thing, and I really appreciate to listeners that are willing to go back, that have that curiosity
yeah.
of going back and listening to from issue 1 to basically now. You know, because Sarah did that when she came on. She listened to every single issue.
Set our butts on fire.
I know.
Called
And
us out on a lot of stuff.
She was just like, you suck. You said,
You said I'm a lot. And then I also have customers that come in and they go, yeah, I listened to your early issues. That you guys were like, you know, it's fun, like exactly what you said, like to see how much we've grown now.
But it's interesting to hear that because there's two things I've picked up on that, right?
Yeah.
One is that when people tell us that from our early days to now, we've been on this for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
From when we first started to now, we've all pulled each other, and even though there's been some resistance, right? There's growth. Yeah, I mean, there's certain points where I'm like, Nick, I need you to do this. You're like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to do something else.
What's there? It's there.
Start now, like right now. Look what you're doing.
It's there. It's a rebellion. Aren't we supposed to rebel?
No.
Point
then
being is
I-
that there's a resistance, right? And we grow on that,
Yeah.
but we still make each other better.
Yeah.
So it's like every fight or every little bicker thing that we do is an opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ultimatums.
There was second part
A lot of
about
compromising.
that. Yeah.
There was a lot of ultimatums of like, we're doing this. Like no. Like the day that I brought the stands in.
Yeah.
I brought the camera stands in. Brian was like, what are we doing? And I'm like, oh, I
doing
brought
video.
stands, we're doing video.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, no. You misunderstood me.
We're
doing
it.
this.
Yeah.
Like this is
It
happening.
happened recently. You called us in on Thursday. You're just like, we need a Star Wars video, and I'm like, oh, okay, we'll show up on Thursday.
But
And we did.
hold on, but we had, but
No, but the
it's-
video came out great, which is good.
The
Yeah.
video came out great. It's a great piece of like in our catalog
Yeah.
of like great things that we've done. But also it's that thing of because we're so used to those schedules that we also forget about like those extra stuff that's like, man, Celebration came out this week. Okay, we gotta watch Celebration. We gotta figure out what's going on. All right, cool. What was the big thing that came out? Nothing. You know, what do we talk about? Because we need something.
Yeah, when you put out some sort
We need
of
to
something.
we need to say something about it. So that's kind of where we were with it.
The second part is that you've gotten it a lot.
Yeah.
I've gotten it a lot.
What?
People come up to us and ask us, one, why are we so consistent? How do we keep that consistency
Yeah.
going? Or the other thing that they ask me, I don't know if they ask you, how is it that we manage to do such a great job to make it look good with basically almost nothing.
Yeah.
Right? One, we're thankful for the fact that Undercity is providing us a place to record,
That's true.
that we have this equipment, because basically everything here is probably, you can get it under 500,
Yeah.
but you would also
More or
need the place.
less.
More or less, right? But you need the place, and we have this place. I think a lot of it.
Yeah, Susan decorated the hell out of it.
But I will say it's interesting because they talked to me about like that consistency and the production aspect of it, right?
Right.
And we've only done it for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I still ask myself the question: what are we doing right that people find what we're doing interesting enough to pick our brains?
You know what? But I do feel like it's that idea of experimentation, because there is a lot of times where we go, let's just try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it for 2 issues. You don't like it. Let's try it for like an issue. If you don't like it, it becomes too hard or whatever, then we won't do it again. We know that it was a bad idea. We did it and everything else. And I think it's that openness to have that, you know, to have the idea of, yes, we are going to experiment. Yes, we are going to kind of, you know, challenge the status quo of what exactly we've already been doing, because you could just do the same thing, you know, if you know if it's working, why try to fix it?
Yeah.
But there is those moments of, you know, it's not broken, but also it could be better. It could be a nicer show, it could be a cooler show, it could, you know, we could have a dynamic, we could have like something different in that, and that's kind of, I think, the difference, because it hasn't been stale. It hasn't really, because once you hit that stale point, that's when people kind of start dropping off, and it's kind of like, well, I already know what they're going to do.
It's consistency more than anything, because our shows come out every Wednesday. We upload videos, you know, on a infrequent basis, but enough that it's still relevant, that we're still posting things up.
Yeah.
Topics are current. It's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes when we still have full-time jobs and a life to live. It's a lot of dedication and understanding of how to balance all that, right? To kind of like move on, because we are running out of time pretty quickly.
Are you deleting my manuscript?
No, I'm not. What? What are we looking forward to in this new year for year 2?
For me personally, because this is also going along the lines of like what I enjoyed in this past year as well too. I really enjoyed the Halloween videos that we did.
Those were cool.
So I want to do, I guess.
Only we finished those.
I'm telling you, the audio messed
The
up
audio
on the
messed
last
up on the
one.
last
I have
one.
to like literally like remaster the whole
Do
thing.
you really? You
Yeah.
have to remaster the whole thing?
I might have to like redo some. It's basically a lot of extra work.
Can we just ADR it?
Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
But what I want to do, because learning from how we did it in 3 different videos, or like we shot like 4 different videos, I think it'd be better if we did just one video, you know, of maybe a little bit, not long, but just one, like a horror short in general.
My thing is that because I'm down with that. I actually really did like the horror shorts too. I thought it was hilarious to just piss off Brian for 45 minutes. I noticed that in a lot of them I kept dying. So
Yeah.
like I like how I pitched an idea to Brian, and then Brian was like, "Okay, cool," and then immediately
Let's kill him off.
He was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have my fiance murder you."
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
then in
it's
my
like Brian's
video,
wet
you
dream.
were gone. Like, remember, it was like you were there with me, and
then I just vanished.
You just vanished.
This is what happens.
See, Brian's now see the pattern here. He's like,
What's the why wasn't I there that day? What did I do?
You were doing something. I don't know what.
I think was I at work?
I think you were working.
I was either at work or I think I was on. No, I was on vacation.
Oh,
I was on.
You were on
my
the cruise. That's what it was.
I was on my cruise because when I got back, you guys told me that you guys had already found it. That's right. Okay.
So, but I think for
That's what happens when I take
for
too
me
many vacations.
for year 2, we're doing year 2. I want to do just one single horror short.
I'm not gonna lie. I like that idea, but also no. Hold on.
Okay.
No.
I'm just gonna shoot my idea down. Like, I get
No. I
no
like.
say.
I
know.
just. What were you saying?
Yeah.
What were we saying?
Just
Sorry.
like
No.
pissing on my dreams.
No. I think I do like the idea of a horror short, but we do need to spend 4 weeks
No,
So
I mean that's
it
the
needs
thing.
to be longer.
No,
we
but
cut it
we
down
can-
by 5. They're 5-minute intervals. It's 25 minutes, and then they're parts.
I feel like we don't really need it because we can do horror themed podcasts
That's no, because 2 minutes is
In
not
terms
better.
of production,
or just Halloween podcasts in general. That's the thing.
I know, but we need because you doing a horror podcast is an hour long. This is a production meeting that we're having now. They're hour-long shows, whereas we can have a 5-minute skit that people will watch over and over again.
he's not wrong because YouTube, the way it works, is that it
Okay, I
sells
get it.
you
You
on
guys don't
watch
want to do
time.
my idea.
No, it's a
Moving
good one.
forward.
It is a good
no,
one.
I want to move
No,
forward.
because
now.
you know why? You know why? Because at one point I do want to make a film,
Yes,
but it can't be advertisable on YouTube the way that we think it would work. If we do a film, here's the goal.
it would have to be split up.
Here's
in
the goal.
parts.
As a brand, we need to think festival. And that's where that idea goes into. We make the film, it gets thrown in there. So whereas Nick is trying to do it as a ski shot, you know, where he like throws it in the plate and then shotgun shoots it in the air, I'm saying, no, I take the plate back and I say, Nick, shut up. We're doing the festival.
Yeah.
And that's how you do that.
Okay.
The way that I'm thinking about it is Dr. Horrible.
What?
Yeah, Dr. Horrible, he did it in Axe when it was being published
Have you ever seen Dr. Horrible's
with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Instead of because hour-long podcasts, unfortunately, YouTube isn't very mean to us when it comes to an hour and a half.
I don't know. It's been pretty nice so far. I'm looking at the stuff. It's like people are like watching and listening to us, and are
but the thing
consisting is like pretty well.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that when it's up, it's you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The smaller
this-
videos bring you to the hour video.
This is what the behind the scenes production meetings look like.
Honestly,
It is.
they do,
It
yeah.
is always, hey, we have an idea, and Nick goes in, but
I like
and this.
that, but it's always that's how he starts it too. I like that idea,
but.
I'm sorry, I have to bring reality. I'm sorry.
No, I'll say this. Okay?
You know, okay, that is really funny.
I like your idea. I like your idea, but let me say this, okay?
Yeah.
So
I love the idea that my persona on the podcast is not the same as the persona when we're working. Yeah. Of not like I'm just gonna do whatever I want. It's like no, we can't do that.
I have a vision for year 2 in the sense that I want all of us to be more hands-on in terms of like what we want to produce.
Yeah.
In terms of like what Nick wants to be showcased on there. In terms of what you want to be on there. Because I don't want it to just be my name. The whole point is that it's a production brand, and that's what we need to get to. So for year 2 and year 3 and so on and so forth, like we're going to be producing all the content that we're saying it. If Nick wants to run it one way, it's his part that he's going to be showing up on there. If you want to do an hour and a half movie, we get to do it, and we need to plan it out well. Right now, what we've learned from the past couple of months doing all this is that there needs to be that balance of time management. And I think it goes to show with everything that we've done this year so far, right? Because now we're understanding the complications of not sticking to that schedule. You want something done? No one else is going to do it for you here because we're all running different things. I handle the editing, the uploads, and basically the photoshops of the thumbnails and
And
stuff
also
like that.
sharking his own ego. He has to set up.
I like your idea, but
Set aside a whole 10 minutes for that.
oh my
It's a
God.
whole 10 minutes.
So, oh my God,
He even puts
I swear,
He even puts a timer.
I'm gonna freaking choke you. We don't start year 2 because you're dead. I'm trying to have a sentimental moment, Nick.
And I won't let it happen. Go ahead.
But all of that essentially, like, you know, that's coming from my side, right?
Yes.
Whereas you guys are handling different aspects of it. If you guys want something done, don't rely on anyone else to do it because we've come to terms with the fact that we all have things to do as well. Last week, we had a bit of a thing that needed to happen or that did happen. We worked around that, right? With the last issue.
Yeah.
It's stuff that we're going to keep learning. And year 2 and year 3 can only get better as long as we commit to that. So to wrap it up, because we are running out of time now.
Are you talking about you choking me out?
No.
You
Shut up.
ever heard me?
No. I haven't even reached
And
the
you had to
birdie
put
guys
that
right now,
in.
right?
Yeah.
That was a good pun, though.
Yeah, that was a good pun.
That was a good pun, though.
I mean, that's a smart way to
There's a
bring
vein
into
that comes out right here on the top of my head,
Mhm.
and it's gonna pop. Year 2 is when it starts. You're just gonna see it, just a giant gash on my forehead because of you, Nick. Thanks for that.
It builds character.
Are we excited for year 2?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
I hate the fact that you say it like that. I
What?
even told you yesterday.
No,
what was it that we were arguing?
No, about playing Fallen Order.
Oh, okay. So I tried to convince him to play
he told
Fallen
me-
Order.
He told me earlier.
Oh,
yeah,
did he? And he was just like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah,
I was like, I don't believe you. It's your yes. It's that
What?
tone.
What's wrong with my ass?
I told him his birthday gift from us was gonna be Fallen Order.
He's like, yeah, I'll play.
Yeah, I get
Never
it. I get
touches
it.
it.
Yeah, I'll
And
play
then-
this.
and then at that point, we're gonna have to then go to his house and play it.
Sit
For
your
him.
ass down. We're tying you up and we're watching
What's
it.
it? Clockwork Orange?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, just go on YouTube and look up the cinematics.
Just watch the cinematics.
Just forcing you to do it at this
at a certain point. But no, my big thing for next year is going on the road. Is going to trade shows and stuff like that.
That's now that the pandemic is quote unquote slightly almost over, hopefully. We also have
So
our
last
no
issue 100, guys. Brian got COVID.
dude, I have not missed a single issue.
Yeah.
Have you not?
I've not missed a single issue.
He still likes to say that. Yeah.
Has Renee?
Yes,
Yes.
I have. Remember, I went to Utah.
It was the issue where we did Space Jam.
Yeah.
The New
Oh,
Legacy.
that's right.
You guys did it at Brian's house. It was
It's
hot.
the hottest shoot I've ever been
Yeah.
in.
No,
No,
AC.
actually, you know what? Second hottest.
Where's the first one?
We'll talk about it later.
So, last thing to know, Our Real Addiction is on board with us now, and they're going to fully integrate themselves with the nerds.
Yeah,
the
with
channel.
the nerds network.
So
yeah.
there's 2 more people added onto this team as well, which is good because we now have more assets, more diversity in the sense where we don't have to just talk about movies and stuff on this. We can hand over some content to them as well.
Yeah.
We'll be overseeing some of the stuff they're going to be doing, and they're also going to help us film some things as well because Adam is kind of in that mentality that he wants to write. So
my big thing is I want to go to cons. That's my big thing. I really like cons. I love the way that cons work, and I love the talking to the community and being there.
cons,
And the
production.
Short videos.
And my big thing was
Not a
I
short
wanted
video. You
I
want a
wanted
long
to
video.
I want to do panel.
No, I mean like a 10-minute video or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
What was it? But I really
We took
wanna,
over SNL.
Yeah, I really want to do like a panel, and then I also really want like Miguel and Adam to be like our man on the floor.
It'll happen.
And like interviewing people and just doing goofy stuff and just probably getting kicked out. And I think that's fun.
It'll happen. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of annual number 2, 2022. The end of it. With that said, we're going to be kicking off issue 100 next week. It's a celebration issue. Whatever topics happen to come out, that's what we'll be talking about. I also hope that we can get Our Real Addiction in studio for that day to record
For
issue 100?
for issue 100. It is a celebratory issue.
It's true.
It is.
So it's a big one. But yeah, if you guys have not followed us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, go follow us on there for all the up-to-date information on anything that does come out. Check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Articles, videos videos when they get announced, podcasts. There's a timer on there as well. All the information necessary to know about us will be at that website. If you're not yet subscribed to YouTube, what are you doing? Subscribe.
Yeah, man. Click Renee's face.
Yeah. I'm not
That's
doing
where-
it on that
That's where the subscribe button is now. I'm gonna do this every issue.
Nick's gonna randomly say where the subscribe button's gonna be, and Brian has to put it there.
Oh my god, dude! I swear.
You did a good
Still?
job on the
You did-
video, though.
That one actually is.
Yeah,
that's a
Yeah.
you did it, and then
Yeah,
dude, that was the. I didn't think you were gonna add
Dude,
that audio to it, though.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah.
I gave you great setup and you used it. It was great.
Thank you.
So
See,
you-
that's a good compliment. Thank you,
That's-
Nick.
yeah, that's how you
our
use my
website,
compliment.
keepingupwiththenerds.com. Subscribe to our YouTube. Ring that notification button. Follow us on our audio platforms as well. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else. Let us know and comment in any comment section to let us know what you all think about this show. With that said,
Bell.
I did say ring that notification
Did he
button.
say?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't
Idiot.
listening.
Dummy. Renee, take us away.
Yeah.
All right.
Shut up!
This This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, annual number 2, 2022. I'm Wonder Boy.
Phantom.
This is Crimson.
And recording at Undercity Comics in Whittier, California. We want to thank you all for listening and watching this annual. Hope to see you all